Hello and welcome back to day 27 of How to Fix the World in 80 Days, and today we're talking about conflict resolution. Despite all the amazing things we've done over the past few thousands of years, we're still really bad at solving problems with each other, be it a personal argument or starting an international war. When it comes to making the world a better place, we're really not doing ourselves any favors. Picture a utopian world where everybody got along, nobody had any issues with each other. Wouldn't that be a great place to live? I don't think so. Conflict isn't such a bad thing. I don't think we should be as afraid of it as we are right now. It's normal to disagree with people, okay? Enough with this safe space world. Conflict makes you think, it challenges you, it forces you to come up with new solutions. Some people want blue walls, some people want red, some people want steak, some people want vegan. Who cares? In the grand scheme of things, these minor conflicts don't really cause any life-threatening problems, and we can just find ways to get over it. The real question is, when we both have a problem that we are both literally willing to die for, how do we solve that problem? Well, typically, the answer to that question has been violence. You need only look at our history for a laundry list of examples that will prove exactly that. The problem is, it doesn't really get us that far. In fact, here's pretty much what happens every single time. Here we have Team A and Team B. They are in a disagreement, and Team A decides that they're gonna solve this problem violently. So what's gonna happen is Team A is gonna hurt Team B, and then assuming they don't completely annihilate them, Team B is gonna be pretty pissed off, so they're gonna wanna go after Team A, and then Team A is going to get pissed off because Team B went after them, and we're pretty much going to repeat this cycle endlessly until the end of time. Do you see how this can be a problem? You see, we're not actually resolving the conflict, we're kind of just pushing it down the line and honestly just creating a whole bunch of new problems. So this is an honest question. How many more people need to die before we figure out that this solution just isn't working? Now here's the potential trillion-dollar question. How do we stop this from happening? And the answer is, probably not that easily. The issue with violence is nobody wants to be the first one to lay their weapons down. And the other side of the problem is violence isn't really working out that well for us if you look in the grand context of the world and all the people who are dying, who are suffering, and who are living in poverty. So I do not have a perfect answer for you, short of telling people to stop being violent assholes. But what I can do for you is tell you how I would solve some of these international dilemmas. Well, my first recommendation, starting with the most serious of solutions, is to crack a joke, okay? It's really hard to be mad at someone when you're laughing. So any way you can to use humor to your advantage, book it. Next, try to be very clear with what your expectations are for the meeting, okay? There's no need to pussyfoot around the issue. There's no need to ask for $7 million when you only really need $2. All right, as much as possible, try to stick to the facts and actually justify why you need what you're asking for. You're gonna save everyone a ton of time. Then you're probably going to actually want to listen to what they want, okay? Where is their beef? And more importantly, does it have any justification? You'll probably find that more often than not, it does, and you are gonna wanna take their opinion into account when you're negotiating. If you don't, you're just gonna look like a dick. And finally, when we inevitably do disagree on something, because I guarantee you that we will, please be willing to compromise. Okay, and I know that this is the trickiest part, so here's my suggestion for you. Instead of trying to solve the entire problem all at once, what I suggest you do is set smaller, simpler goals. So when we hit this landmark, we can agree on that, and then we can move on to the next step. And then we hit that landmark, and then move on to the next step. And as we go through these steps, we build up trust. No conflict can be resolved without trust, and this is a great way to start building that bridge. Now granted, there are plenty of other techniques you can use to resolve your conflicts, but these do tend to work pretty well for me, and quite frankly, I'm good at it. But no matter what, you will always need to work with your counterparts. You will always need to find compromise, and you will please always try to avoid the violent route. It's a road we've gone down millions of times before, and we keep repeating the same problems, and worse, creating new problems. And if we're creating more problems than we're solving, isn't that the exact opposite of how we're supposed to resolve our conflicts?